Hello everyone, this is Rahul Rathod. Welcome back to my another video. In this video, we'll be discussing about silent letter A. Already we have discussed about the introduction of silent letters. If you did not watch my previous video, go back to that last video and watch that video because that video will help you understand this topic. So without wasting your time, let's begin the session. Now, as I have mentioned here on the title here that we will be discussing about silent letter A. So which means where all the words in which words letter A is not pronounced, we will be discussing about this topic in this video. Fine. See here, what is this silent letter A? Very simple. Silent letter A is written. See, listen to me carefully. What I want to tell you. Letter A is written in a word, but there is no sound. But there is no sound of that letter A, but it is compulsory that should be written in a word, but there is no sound. Where all the letter A is not pronounced, that is what we are going to discuss in this video. So the rule number 1 says of the silent letter A, where all the letter A is kept silent, we will be discussing. Fine. Letter A is silent when it comes after E. Listen to me carefully. Letter A is silent. Here, letter A is silent when it comes after E. When it comes after E or in EA combination. See, very simple. Letter A is silent, but it is written, but it is not pronounced. Letter A is silent when it comes after the E. In this case, letter A is considered as the silent letter. So now I have a few examples for you. See, in the word each, we have to write here A. See, A is not pronounced. A is a silent letter. Why? According to the rule number 1, letter A is silent when it comes after E. There is an E, and after this E, there is an A. So which means A is not pronounced. It is a silent letter. So we don't pronounce this as E-H. We pronounce this as each. In the second word, we say this as, we don't say E-Est, we say east. Fine. In the third example, we say this not E-Z, we say easy. Same here, we don't say this as learn, we say this learn. All the letters which were written by the red marker are considered as the silent letter, which means they are not these are not pronounced, but these letters must be written in that word. In case if you are not writing that word, it is wrong. In case if you are pronouncing that word, it is also wrong. That must be written, but that should not be pronounced. In the second case, what is this? Teach. What is this? T. We don't pronounce here T-H. We pronounce this teach just. A is silent letter. Again, in this teacher, A is again silent letter. Treatment, peace, speak, please, deal, health, leader, live, breathe, cream, cheek, heaven, ready, speak, speaker, stream, live, seat, fill, bowl, stream, dream, live, great, meal. See here, all the letters which were written here are silent letter as A, and this letter must be written in a word, but that should not be pronounced. So this is what the rule number 1 says. Keep in mind that whenever A comes after E, then A is considered as the silent letter. Note it down, these examples. I will give you the second rule of the silent letter A. Okay, fine. See here, we have discussed about the silent letter A's first rule. Now we are going to discuss about the second rule of silent letter A. The second rule says that letter A is silent when it comes after O. Earlier we had written that when it comes after E. So just the O is replaced, the E is replaced using this O. or letter A is silent in OA combination. For example, see here, letter A is silent when it comes after the O. In this combination, letter A is not pronounced, but that must be written in a word. In case if you don't write that letter in a word, it is wrong. And if you pronounce that word in a word, if you pronounce the letter in the word, it is also wrong. That must be written, but that should not be pronounced. Okay, fine. So I have a few examples for you on the rule number 2. The example first says we pronounce this as loan, not loan. We pronounce this loan. The letter A is silent. Why? Because rule number 2 says that when it comes after the O, it is not pronounced, but that must be written in a word. Next, what is this? Float. In this float, A is a silent letter. There is a word called goat. We don't pronounce that goat. We pronounce this goat, which means A is written after this O. It is a silent letter. In this word load, A is again silent letter. In this word road, A is again silent letter. In this word so, again the A is silent letter. Why the letter A, which was written by using the red marker, is considered as silent? Because the rule number 2 says when it comes after the O, it is considered as silent letter, or when it is in the OA combination, it is considered as silent letter. So this is the rule number 2 of silent letter A. So note it down, these examples. I'll give you the rule number 3 of the silent letters. Okay, fine. See, we have discussed about the silent letter A, rule number 1 and the rule number 2. Now we are going to discuss about the rule number 3 of silent letter A, which is written but not pronounced. Already we know this. So letter A is silent. Rule number 3 we are going to discuss. Please keep in mind that and do focus over here. Letter A is silent in words that end in this word. So letter A is silent in words which end in ically. For example, here I have a few examples written here. In the word basically, here there is a word called ically, though it is not a perfect word to pronounce this, but so letter A here is a silent. Letter A here is a silent in this word basically. We don't pronounce this basically. We don't say basically. Why? Because in the word, in this combination, letter A is silent. We pronounce this as basically. Basically, it is not pronounced. It is written, but it is not pronounced. In the word here, so again we have the same word here. So I told you, any word that ends with ically, the letter A is a silent here. We don't pronounce this logically. We pronounce this logically. We pronounce this logically. Letter A is silent again here. We pronounce this as practically. What? Practically, not practically. We pronounce this practically. Letter A is a silent letter. So now again in the word, we don't pronounce this specifically. We pronounce this specifically. We pronounce this specifically. In the word here, we don't pronounce this as physically. We pronounce this as physically. What? Physically. A is a silent letter. In the word here, we don't pronounce this as what is this? Electronically. We don't say electronically. We say electronically. Electronically. A is again here a silent letter. Here, in the same way, we pronounce this as historically. We pronounce this as alphabetically. We pronounce this as dramatically. We pronounce this as economically. We don't say economically. We say economically. We pronounce this as, what is this? Magically. We pronounce this chemically, not chemically. Magically, not magically. Magically, not chemically. It is pronounced this as chemically. We pronounce this as what? The word publicly, not publicly, publicly. and here we pronounce this as biologically, not biologically, biologically. So all the letters which were written by using this red marker is considered as the silent letter that must be written in the word, but that should not be pronounced anyway. In case if you pronounce that letter, that is wrong, and in case if you don't write that letter in a word, that is also wrong. So you should follow this strategy, silent letter, which means that letter must be written, any particular letter that must be written, but that should not be pronounced. These two rules must be followed, and we have discussed about the 3 rules of the silent letter A. I hope you guys must have understood the silent letter A's concept. So if you have any queries related to this video, feel free to ask us in the comment section. And if you haven't subscribed our channel, do subscribe our channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon. And if this video was helpful, share this video with your friends, and we'll meet you in our next video with a great concept. By that time, thank you so much for watching this video. Take care. Stay connected with Learn to Teach.